My mummy and daddy aren't with me anymore. Mummy passed away when I was born. Oh, okay, so she's been long gone. And at around the same time, my father, well, he had to go to a faraway land because one of the cases he and Hurley were working on. Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysterious cases together. You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris? That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Oh, another music box disc. No, not another disc, Miss Susato. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars like this. From the image, I was able to create this. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. It would appear the case is not yet closed. Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Winterbank said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he? Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I would love to read it. You said, The Hound of the Baskervilles. How could you know the full title? The Hound of the Baskervilles? It hasn't come out yet, right? Has never been published. Naruhodo-san, could I consult with you about something, I wonder? About the telegram I received. I've been summoned. The telegram was from the Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart has asked to see me. It's Miss Lestrade. She's gone. The door to Winterbank's. It's open. There's no one here. Oh yes, there is. What the? Has Sholmes been shot?
Never mind me, but there's much at stake. Behind that door.
Who is it? Oh, yep. It might be a murder and a theft. Somebody probably killed him and stole something from inside. Wait. Gina? Oh my gosh. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am the Story Driven Gamer, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be continuing with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, or rather, adventures. Yeah, so the last episode, at least most of it, we're having a good old time, you know. Sholmes and Iris invited us to dinner. They invited Gina along. Sure, we touched on some heavy topics, but we had a fun time. Iris was helping, or Susato was helping Iris get ready. Sholmes was doing a thing. Everything was great until it wasn't. So yeah, so that's basically what happened right after, right after the events of the previous episode with Benedict, Edgar Benedict, or AG, as I'm gonna try and remember to call him. I want to try and remember all the little bits of like information and all the details that we went over. So Sholmes was working on something when we arrived back at the house, and it turns out he was testing out music boxes because he was able to make a copy of the original disc that Gregson took, the music box disc, and so we have that now. So lucky us that he did that. Oh yeah, we got confirmation that the John H. Wilson from the very first case is in fact Iris's father, which I had suspected. I expect that must have been the case, right? It wasn't coincidence that they shared the same last name. Oh yeah, we found out that he was basically, he's basically Sholmes' Watson, in this universe. So, yeah, so we got that discovery. We also found out what the telegram was about. Turns out we don't know specifically why she was summoned, but she was summoned to the courthouse by Strongheart, and he requested that she come alone. So that's something. Hopefully nothing bad. I don't know why I don't trust him, but I just don't. He hasn't really done anything yet to make me really not trust him, but I don't know, something about him. So we'll see what that's all about soon, hopefully. I think the summons was just for the following day. So maybe in this video even we'll find out what it's about. We shall see. What else? Oh yeah, Gina was spending the night over. We talked a bit more about the manuscript. Susato knew the title of it, which she shouldn't have because, Iris, it hasn't been published yet. So Iris and Sholmes and everybody was a bit skeptical, like, how do you know this book? And Susato wasn't willing to actually answer the question. So another mystery surrounding Susato. What else? Oh yeah, and then regarding the manuscript, Gina suspects that Sholmes is lying about it, you know, being kept at the pawnbrokers. She thinks that maybe he's keeping it for himself and trying to sell it or something. I don't necessarily buy that. I don't think he'd do that to Iris. You know, manipulate her like that. He might be a buffoon, but I think he does care for her. So I don't see that being the case, but we'll see. There could be something, some kind of secret hidden there. I think that's it as far as revelations and things we learn. Now to the juicy bit, which happened in the last like 10 minutes of the episode. We were, you know, we hit the hay for the night. Sholmes woke us up and said, Gina's gone. Look out the window. And we did, and the pawnbroker, you know, light was on. So, and meanwhile, it was like middle of the night. All the other shops and stuff were closed. So like that's odd, and we thought Gina might have gone there. So we rushed out, we ran in, and there were two silhouettes. We didn't get a good look at them, but we heard a bang, and they shot Sholmes. But he's fine. I don't know where he was shot. Maybe in the shoulder, and maybe it just grazed him or something. But he seemed fine. And then yeah, he said there's somebody in the back room where maybe I think a light was on or something. The door was locked, but there was a little flap that we could look in. So Ryunosuke looked in, and there was Winterbank dead on the floor. You could see blood under his body. Then right next to him was Gina, who I don't think is dead. She could be, but I don't think so. There was no blood. My guess is that she's going to be the suspect. I'm assuming this will, you know, propel us into a case where we have to defend, you know, whoever. But I think it's going to be Gina. I think because she was in the room was locked. I don't know how they explain that she was knocked out. Maybe they just think she passed out or something. I don't know. That's what's going down. About the silhouettes, I did say in the last video that I noticed one was taller, the other was shorter. I threw out that it could be the Garadevs. It's kind of more as a joke. That's the only person I could think of in the moment. It doesn't really make sense because they were a big part of the last, you know, the last case. And I don't know exactly what happened to Mrs. Garadev, since she was the one who technically, even though it was an accident, technically stabbed the woman. But, yeah, I'm assuming she went to jail. Maybe not for, like, intentional manslaughter or something, but, you know, I'm assuming that she was taken away or something. I don't know about Mr. Garadev. But then I had a thought while I was thinking about it. I was trying to think of other people, you know, other short people, or even other duos that are, you know, a tall and short person like the Garadevs. And then I had a thought. I'm like, we know AG, or Egbert Benedict, is out there. We know he has a gun. And, you know, he didn't appear in the last episode at all, so I'm sure he's gonna be, obviously he's a big part of this case. And then I kind of thought, could the short guy we saw be... This is where my wild theories come into play that are usually wrong. I'm like, is there a chance it could be, McGilded? Like, we never saw his body. The way it played out is the carriage was on fire. There's clearly somebody in there, like, trying to get out. And then I'm assuming they just died in there. Then when they put out the fire, opened it, and he was dead inside, right? I'm wondering if, you know, I'm always skeptical when you don't see a body or, you know, see a death play out in a way where it's like, oh, they're definitely dead. So I'm just wondering if maybe is there a way that he, like, faked his own death? And maybe he's doing some things behind the scenes? Like, maybe, you know, this is... I don't know, what is this, like, 19th century or something? I'm really bad with time period, but, you know, obviously this is a much older time period, so I don't know how easily they can identify bodies, not in the way they can, you know, in today's day and age, so... Maybe whoever was actually in the carriage had, like, the top hat and a coat, or a similar coat on or something like that. And so they just assumed it was him, you know? A similar stature and build and all that stuff. I don't know, just a wild theory. My deductions are just about as bad as Sholmes's during his deduction spectaculars. They're usually always wrong. Like 99.9% of the time. So, I could just be talking out my butt. But, you know, we'll see. Okay. That's pretty much what happened. I'm excited to get into this next part because after that cliffhanger, I really want to know what's going to happen. So, let's get into it. Bang! Okay, we backing up a little bit? Ah! Who's that? I'll be alright, Mr. Naruhodo! After them, go! Oh, that's right, we did chase after them and then They disappeared. Okay, we're getting a little recap. Behind that door, in the storeroom. Hurry! Oh, we're getting a different view though. We're getting a first-person view. This all played out in a cutscene. Oh, she has the gun in her hand. It's Gina. Okay, now we get a good look. Okay, for sure, she's the suspect now. We didn't get a good look at her. This scene played out in a cutscene, and yeah, we got a good look at Window Bank for a little bit there too. I saw a hole, definitely a gunshot wound. It looked like in the chest, maybe in the heart. Okay, Gina's... Yeah, so I think we're gonna probably have to defend Gina. From that moment, Winterbank Pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Dun dun dun! Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B, Baker Street. Okay, fun times. 16th of April, 6:21 a.m., Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. So yeah, so it's the next day, so I don't remember what time exactly she was summoned, but sometime in the morning, so I'm assuming Susato will have to leave us. I don't know if we're gonna escort her there, or she's just gonna go and we're gonna do our own thing without her. She will be missed, if that's the case. Hey, it's Iris. Oh, Iris. Oh yeah, I don't know what Sholmes is up to. Maybe he's in the hospital or something. A telegram came, but all it said was, wait at home. Oh, yes. We asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back. When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. Yeah, about that. What happened, Runo? Poor Iris. She's trembling. She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know. Something awful has happened, hasn't it? Yeah, just a little bit. Yes, I'm afraid so. I can't not investigate the spade. That spade has been in here since we started renting the place. Runo, that's not a spade, it's a shovel. Here we go. Ah, you're a shoveler, are you? I had a feeling you'd pick me up on that. Oh no. A pick is something else entirely. That's a different gardening instrument. Now I've dug myself into an even deeper hole. Yay, the debate lives on. Okay, so it looks like we can investigate everything again, so let's go ahead and do that. So this is the tea set that Miss Susato brought with her from Japan. Let's hope she hasn't noticed me slipping sugar and milk into my cup when she makes it. It's just so bitter. Susie's lovely green tea has had quite an impact on you, Hurley. On Hurley, you know. You start putting milk and sugar in his coffee, even. And Hurley is normally bitterly opposed to bitterness. Okay, good to know. Susato is rubbing off on him. It's spring at last, and the weather is warmer now. But I love the smell of the fire and the steam rising from the kettle. Oh, how about some tea, Runo? Thanks, Iris, but I'm alright for now. With the green tea Susato-san makes me from time to time and Iris' unique herbal infusions, this place is paradise for a true tea lover. If you're sure, you know I always have plenty whenever you're feeling thirsty. Okay. We've only been here in London for about 2 months, but my desk is starting to look a little messy already. Hurley's desk is far worse, you know. I'm sure if I try hard enough, I can make my desk as messy as Mr. Sholmes's. Don't try me. I wonder. Are we gonna have a contest? You don't think I can? Well, it takes a certain genius to reach that level of disorder, you know. The path to true mess is long and arduous, it seems. But I am up for the task. Oh, this looks like a telegram. It is. But you mustn't open it, not under any circumstances. So obviously, Susato isn't here. Either she's still sleeping, or she might have already left. Alright, I won't. Do you like my goggles? Now then, let's see. Oh, can she, like, see through the telegram? Like the paper? The envelope? No, what'd I just say? You mustn't open it. Don't worry, I won't. I'll just use my X-ray vision. With this special concoction I've developed, I'll be able to see through the envelope without having to open it. No, that's not allowed either. Put those away. Oh, but I'm sure it's something important. Little geniuses sure can be mischievous. Yeah. She tried to find a loophole, but I'm on to you. Okay. Check the door. Do you know, I've never seen inside Miss Susato's room. I haven't so much as put my head around the door. Oh, Susie often invites me up. It's so much fun. Really? What's her room like? I can't tell you that. Oh. A young maid in private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know? I think, didn't Susato say the exact same thing? You got me curious. Yep, where have I heard that before? I suppose some things are the same the world over. She's not around? Maybe a quick peek? What do you think you're doing, you pervert? Okay. We're rather lucky to find that old aquarium left behind here. The ponds we put in there are doing rather well. And the anemones, too. Apparently, tanks like those were very popular in London before I was born. Oh, you mean they're not anymore? I think people discovered there's too much effort to clean them out and change the water all the time. I can believe that. Prawns and anemones are fun. For a while. Did I say ponds before? I don't know. I feel like I said ponds. Might be. Let's talk about Susato first, and then we'll get into the stuff that happened with Winterbank. No reason. Where's Susie, Runo? She's still at the police station. Oh, why? I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while. Why aren't you there, then? Well, I didn't get a look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. Oh, okay, so she's not at the courthouse yet. She's still being interviewed by the police, okay. And Miss Susato stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later. What happened to Mr. Sholmes? Sorry, I'm going out of order. Ah, I see. Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early. You should have let me know, and I would have come to the station. Aw, I don't like seeing a sad Iris. Okay, let's talk about the events at Winterbanks. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Winterbank is dead. Say what? He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning. Oh, yes. I had a feeling. You did? Well, I saw all those police carriages pulling up outside a shop. So I knew something must have happened there. Yeah, and guess who shot him, maybe? When we entered Winterbanks in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out onto the street, and I chased after them, but they got away. So it was one of them who shot old Winterbank, I suppose? I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment. Yep, I think I know what the police believe. Yeah, we didn't get a good look at the thugs, obviously, other than they were tall and short, and they were only on screen for a couple moments. I tried when I was editing. I didn't want to, pause on them and try and, figure out, I'm like, that would be super cheaty. So, I did my best to just, obviously I watched the scene again for editing purposes, but I didn't, pause on them and try and figure out who they were that way. Okay. Same thing with, the bodies at the end. I didn't want to know anything until I came back to the game. Okay. Oh, why not? Because Gina was there with a gun. They arrested someone else as the prime suspect, you see. Gina. Ginny? But why? Well, the thing is... No, Ginny wouldn't do something like that. I know. None of us think she did it. Then why have they arrested her? I mean, they had good reason. I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do. Oh, okay, I guess let's continue this line of conversational line. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair. What about the 2 thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they? No, I mean, Mr. Storms isn't dead, Iris. Ah, this is also horrible. She really thought he was dead? That's funny. You'd think if she believed that, she'd be a little more, torn up about it. The thing is, Mr. Winterbank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all the deposited articles. And the storeroom door was locked from the inside. I see. But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well. Oh no! And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards... Don't tell me. There was no one else in the room? Yes, exactly. How did you know? I was there. I mean, what? It's the only explanation. Yes, the only explanation indeed. Yeah. What do you mean by that, Runo? Well? Ugh, what can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't. Yeah, best to let her vent. Okay, now let's talk about Sholmes, who is very much not dead. So where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals. Yeah. Actually, I don't know what happened to him. Like I said, my guess is he's probably being looked at. Maybe he went to a hospital or something. I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He's dead. Just kidding. Just kidding. I kid. Laugh with me, Iris. He was taken to the hospital this morning. What? Well, when we entered Winterbanks, a gun was fired, and he took a bullet. Hurley was shot? Right in the heart. Just kidding again. No. It's alright. His life isn't in danger. Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital? He's... Saint Sinners. The best hospital in London. Attending to him there. Oh, what a name. I must see him. At once. I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't. Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed. No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see. I wonder if the bullet is still inside him. To operate? Oh, poor Hurley. Okay, let's keep going. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Winterbank's shop. They shot Mr. Sholmes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them! Go! And we let them get away. After that, I ran out into the street, but... well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I let them get away. I think... that's a very good thing. Sorry? They might have shot us too? Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them... you might have been shot as well, Runo. Very likely possibility. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that. Oh, Iris. She's looking out for us. She cares. Not that I ever had any doubt that she didn't. She seems to like us. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment. But I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gino are getting on. I want to go too. Take me with you, Runo. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting. I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder. But what the heck. I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me. Oh yes, I'd love to. Can I be your Maya for this chapter? I don't know what you're talking about. Gina's at the prison. Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed. And don't forget, we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation. Ah, I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Yeah, that was the plan anyway. New location has been added. Yep, Saint Sinners, the prison, I guess that's where Gina is. Okay, I am gonna go check out the suite real quick. Oh, there's a lot of new stuff to investigate. This is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? Let's see, what does it say today? Ah, the Boscombe Valley Mystery. We visited Boscombe Valley recently for a picnic, you see, but I forgot to bring the tea. So when Hurley became thirsty, he decided to drink from Boscombe Pool. He gave himself an awful tummy ache. Oh dear. Hurley sat there miserable as can be in that field of flowers after that, just like when you saw him yesterday. That really is an unsavory tale. Okay. Sorry, I see all this new stuff to investigate, so... Come to think of it, I haven't seen you doing much writing recently, Iris. But there's paper already set up in the typewriter, I notice, as if you're about to start. I'm a little bit stuck for a new story idea, actually. Well, you could consider using what happened to Mr. Natsume, perhaps? Oh yes, that's a fabulous idea, and a great title just popped into my head as well. The Adventure of the Catty Man. How's that, Runo? Sure, I like it. Is he a catty man because he has a cat, or... Let's have a tea party. Your beautiful tea set is there on the table as usual. A cup of one of your special herbal blends always helps me to relax when I'm feeling the strain. Poor Hurley. He hasn't had a drop of tea today. I wish I could take some to the hospital for him. Ah, don't worry, we're gonna visit him first. They were all mementos of Mr. Storm's past cases, I think. If he'd been involved in my case, I wonder if the beefsteak from La Carnival would be on display here. Hurley said that Waggy is a memento too. What? How? He tried really hard to get the little fellow to stay on those shelves at first. Yeah, where is Waggy? We can't leave him alone. He has to come with us. But he had to give up in the end. Waggy just wouldn't keep still. Yes, funny that. What are you doing to my favorite cat, Mr. Sholmes? Oh yeah, here's the medicine and whatnot. Or the chemicals. That's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little bottles, too. But the contents of them aren't quite so charming, it seems. I'm so close now. I've nearly developed a rainbow smoke grenade, you know? Ooh. So you're still working on those colorful but fumey explosives, are you? I tell you what. When I perfected it, I'll fire the first shot at you, Runo. Free of charge. What an honor. What do we got? The fireplace? The fire is burning comfortably in the grate again today. It's a very different feeling to a Japanese hibachi somehow. What's that, Runo? Hurley's been working on his disguises recently. He's been dressing as a woman, mainly. Really? Mr. Sholmes dresses in women's clothes? He's a cross-dresser. Yes. You see the lady in that photographic print in the mantelpiece? Oh my gosh, really? That's Hurley! He's quite stunning. Oh, I like how it came... Okay, I like how it came full circle. Because that was a very weird dialogue we had with Susato where we pointed out that there was a woman on the mantelpiece and that was it. I'm like, we got a trophy for that? I'm kind of surprised I didn't get the trophy for doing, you know, the first one and the second one here. It's an unusual way to make use of a huge metal chest as a table for tea and coffee. But it's a very sturdy box, and I've noticed that it's always locked. Ah, well, that's because that box contains some of the most important things. Yeah, that's where she keeps the whatchamacallits, right? I can't think of the word. The books. Which you have no intention of telling me more about, judging from the guarded smile. Oh, the manuscripts. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, she is tight-lipped. But that's fine. If it's important, we will learn about it, eventually. There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment. Yes, Hurley does tend to overload the shelves. That's one way of putting it. He wanted to look something up on one of those books the other day, you know? But it was so tightly crammed in, he gave up and went out to buy a brand new copy instead. Well, that's one way to do it. There's the violin. Now, this really is Mr. Sholmes' faithful performing partner, then. The Stravador, yeah, we went over this. The Strappy's car, the Scrapafarius. No, it's no good, it's gone. The virtuoso's violin they found in a pawnbroker's and managed to buy for next to nothing. I hope Hurley gets well soon. I miss hearing his violin playing already. Oh, Iris, I'm sure he will. So I think a lot of Ryunosuke's dialogue is the same or similar. It's just Iris's, interjections that are a bit different. Look at Mr. Sholmes' desk, it's completely clear. It looks totally different without that enormous machine on it. Hurley lives in an absolute mess all the time. He never notices when things go missing. Even Mr. Sholmes must have noticed that huge lump of metal is no longer there. Surely. You would think. I mainly came here because I wanted to examine the board again over there. Okay. Now it's going to go straight to, I guess we'll go to the hospital. The hospital where Mr. Sholmes was taken, having been shot. Okay. Saint Sinners. Bit of an oxymoron. That's a nice little room. Except for the crack in the wall there. 16th of April, St. Sinners Hospital, Ward 3. Hurley! I'm here! Oh! Okay, a note for us? He's not here. No, that's strange. Maybe he's out for a test or something. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she? Oh, I know what's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home. If only. I'm not so sure about that, baby or not. There's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sholmes suffered. Oh, maybe. Hello, what have we here? That does not sound like Sholmes. It's this guy again. This ward is off limits. No visiting. So what are you doing in here, eh? Well, I'll have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin. Yeah, both of us. Oh, well, begging your pardon then, ma'am. Sorry, sir. A little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery solvers as a mysterious family, eh? If that's how you see us, sure. Whatever. Where is he? Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley? I believe he is currently in the operating theatre, ma'am. Undergoing an extensive operation. Extensive? It has been several hours since he went in. Oh dear. Is he going to be alright? Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. Uh-oh, that's not good. The anesthetic, that is. Oh. I have heard a report that the gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. He's bouncing off the walls. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later. Oh, poor Hurley. Okay, let's examine the place, though. Okay, we can't see the note, but the bed. This must be Mr. Sholmes' bed. Poor Hurley. I know. Looks as stiff as a board, doesn't it? Oh, I don't think that will bother him. No? Why not? I often find him asleep face down on the floor, completely dead to the world. I think I'd call the police if I discovered someone like that. He might be dead. Okay, we can't examine the crack. Oh, wow. There's not much I can examine. Okay, what does this say? There's a notice board on the wall here, look. Let's see, what does it say? Thought of the day, on seeing any vermin, calmly and discreetly inform matron. Oh yes, there are rats and mice in hospitals like this that love to feast on all the medicine. If you don't deal with them, there's nothing left to treat the patients. Rats and mice? Oh, I see. Let's get out of here. This is a rather old building, I suppose. But the doctors and nurses are all very good, I hear. I certainly hope so, for Mr. Sholmes' sake. Hopefully, what's his name? Dr. Hati? Hopefully he doesn't have an ancestor that works here. Could you imagine? That'd actually be kind of funny. A Japanese doctor flown in from Japan. Okay, what do we got here? Got some crutches. I wonder what these are. Do you have any idea, Iris? Oh, haven't you ever seen crutches before? It's a brand new invention. Let me explain that for people with leg injuries, to help them walk, you hold one under each arm, you see? Ah, right. I thought they were weapons of some sort. The murder weapon. No. Why would they be weapons in a hospital? You idiot. I thought maybe a fighter had been injured in a battle contest and been brought here along with his weapons. I have no words, Naruhodo. That's surprisingly plausible. Is it? Oh, Naruhodo, you silly nugget. I kind of want to save the crime scene for last, so let's go see Gina. The prison cell where Miss Gina Lestrade is being held pending trial. We need to do all we can to help her as quickly as possible. Let's do this. 16th of April. Local prison. Cell 13. Wow, it looks exactly like Mr. Natsume's. Hello there, Gina. How are you doing? Hello, Gina. Huh. What? They let you... Wait, no, why'd they let you bring that in here? Guards! Guards! Get that thing away from me. Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made? I wish you wouldn't point at me all the time, though. What are you here for? Ginny. I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. So we were thinking that we might be able to help you. We will defend you, I guess. Well, you can't. You can't. Sorry? You heard. Get lost. Okay, bye. Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't. You think you know me? Pull the other one. Oh. Oh, poo. You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if I show me chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. Yeah, sounds like you. Just to see what I could lay my hands on. Get it? That's the kind of person I am. But Jenny, it doesn't matter. You either did it or you didn't. It doesn't matter what kind of person you are. I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some co came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or the like. Said it was my right or something. Oh, somebody came before us? But I told him to get stuffed. Stoofed. I don't need no lawyer. I don't need no one. She couldn't be staring at me any more obviously if she tried. Why are you being like this, Ginny? Okay, I can't examine anything. It's funny how far we are in this investigation. We don't actually have any evidence yet. Because literally, I guess the case is literally just starting. Will this cheer you up? Would you have a look at, that's strange. Where's my armband gone? What's the problem? Something wrong? Don't suppose you're looking for this? Yes, but how? And when? And how again? This sounds familiar. But you know what? I changed my mind. Forget it. We're not defending you anymore. You lost your chance. You blew it. I got a talent for it, haven't I? Diving. That's bordering on black magic. And that makes what I was about to say about my armband seem a little dull. So, what do you want to tell me about it, then? Never mind. Just forget it. I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away? He wanted me to sign some papers. Representation papers or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyway. The whole trial. They'll pin it on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do. Is that so? Why do you think that? Because that's how it's always been for me. Growing up in the back slums, my whole life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, it'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers. Or worse. I've had it happen to me all before and all. Been sold out, nearly snaffled? Yeah, snaffled on the back of it. Can't trust no one, that's the point. Soon as you do, you're going to grass. Dead. Sometimes her lines are a tongue twister when I'm trying to do the accent. Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could... Forget it! You're no better than an adult. Ginny, don't you trust Runo? Some tells me she doesn't. Nah, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. No, I have more stuff to ask you. What happened? Give us the deets. Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night at the pawnbroker's? There's nothing to tell. I figured it would pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me and you know the rest. But why, Ginny? Why would you do that? Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for $1 or $2. Starving ain't easy, you know? It's a lot of work, and half the time you don't even get nothing. So it's interesting, she's not denying it, she's actually like basically admitting to it. She's either just being stubborn, and just like, yeah, that's right, whatever, you won't believe me anyway, type of attitude, or... I don't know, I definitely don't think she did it, but I wonder why she is being so difficult. Is that really why you broke into the place? What? Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else? Oh, give it a rest. What'd be the point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference. Please tell us, Ginny. We believe you, whatever it is. Believe me, don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies, I have. What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies? Never mind. I would like to know. Yes. Tell us. What do you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the lot? Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you've told are? Maybe we can help? Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now. Ginny, please. We're trying to help you. Oh yeah? I want to give you this. Something to remember me by. Oh, is there a little kitty? Aww. That's not Waggy, is it? Waggy's not that color. A photographic print of a really adorable cat. I feel like Lost Judgment all over again. Cats everywhere. I found it in one of the pockets of this coat. Ain't no point me having it. Interesting. I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in a pocket of that overcoat. Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye. I just noticed something. What's on her little backpack there? It almost looks like a little Sholmes and Iris, but one's a bunny and the other is some other kind of creature. I don't know. Oh, Ginny. Okay, white cat photograph. Photograph depicting a sweet little white cat obtained from Gina while interviewing her in her prison cell. Okay, let's take a look at that real quick. Ah, okay, there's more to it, so let's see. This is an adorable little cat. I think it looks a little like Wagahai. I always thought that cats like to curl up inside under the heated kotatsu blanket when it snowed. Maybe British cats are different. Okay, that it? And then there's something on the back. Look on the back of this print here. There's something written on it. 10 shillings. 13th of February, 9 o'clock p.m. Oh, my voice just cracked. Article deposited, one small box. Loan amount paid, 10 shillings. Redemption deadline, 13th of April, 9 p.m. So this photographic print is a redemption ticket? 13th of February? That could be significant. It was just 2 days before the murder on the omnibus, wasn't it? Small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it? Bruno, if Mr. McGilder still had the ticket, and presumably he never redeemed the article. So do you think the box might still be present somewhere in the shop? Ah, yes. If it's something McGilder deposited, we need to investigate. There we go. A redemption ticket issued from the pawnbroker owned by the victim, Mr. Winterbank, in the form of some handwritten notes on the back of a photograph. I guess that's it. Okay, so now it changed. Cool. Oh, let's see. Maybe now if I present this to her, see if we get anything else. Here, Gina. Look at this. No, Ta? I guess not. I wasn't saying you could have it. Oh, weren't ya? Well, when someone says I can't have stuff, it makes me want it, see? So you better hand it over now. No, I'm not giving it to you. You just gave this to me. Okay. So we're done here, right? I can't examine anything. Okay, we're flying through this. We already investigated that and that. Let's go to Baker Street before we go to the pawnbroker. Oh, there are the cops. The coppers. The bobbies. There's still a Scotland Yard carriage outside Winterbanks. I never imagined we'd be investigating a case so close to home. Poor Iris. She's very upset by all this. Can't blame her. I'm sorry. I was there. I should have done more. None of this is your fault, Runo. So please, don't apologize. But it's the criminals who are to blame for all this. So let's investigate and work out how to catch them. Yes, you're right. Okay, that's our house, right? It's already been 2 months that we've been taking lodgings here above Mr. Sholmes' office. That's us. I still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this. Well, Hurley comes back home. Let's have a big party. That's a great idea. I'm sure it won't be long. Mr. Sholmes is very tough. Yes, indeed. Indeedly do. Oh, the same inspector we run into all the time. Ooh, look at that. I just noticed what he's looking at. There's blood all over the calendar there. 16th of April, Winterbanks Pawnbrokery. And that's the date that's shown there, April 16th. Oh, a lot of activity going on here. This is where it happened then, last night. That's right, the two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables. But, yeah, so they're kind of pawning them off as just random thugs who just loot, random looters. But I'm sure they were here for a reason. I'm sure their identity is important. Apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance. No, you're right about that, actually. In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking. I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black. Oi, I heard that! Oh, Gregson. Sup? Oh, Inspector, good morning. I suppose I ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind? Well, sorry. You let what's-his-face get away, AG. And it's your job to catch these guys, so don't talk. Yes, I'm sorry about that. I thought you'd assign extra men to the beat around here, Gregsy. Now look what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty. Yeah, you tell him. Ah! Your ladyship? No one told me you were coming. I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see as the very best medical care. Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital attended to him as we speak. And I don't think it's Runo's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job. Oh yeah, you're being told off by a 10-year-old. Get wrecked. Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, Mom. As you say. The gent in black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that. Well, now you are. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Oh, where are me manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Oh my gosh, he really is different. Perhaps you like some juice? Some nice, refreshing fruit juice. Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Gregsy? Only babies drink juice. I have some of my special herbal tea with me, and you'd like some, if you'd like some. Glug, 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 glug. I love tea. Look at him. Ah, lovely. Ta very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. I don't even recognize him like this. Pinky up. I learned that from Patrick Starr. Should I talk to him first, or... I might have to talk to him first, but I kind of want to... Well, I'm sure we're going to investigate too. I don't know. Usually I like investigating first, talking later if I can. Let me see if it lets me investigate yet. Alright then, let's see what we can uncover. Oi, what do you think you're doing, Sunshine? You can't touch anything in here. Oh, but we were hoping to investigate. This is a crime scene, for Pete's sake. No touching. What's the problem, Gregsy? Bruno's a lawyer, you know that. Oi, I'm ever sorry, your ladyship. Ever so sorry. The rules and regulations are a thorn in my side. Of course, if Mr. Nahoda was to have been properly appointed by the accused, that'd be another matter. The accused. If you could show me some representation papers, I'd be only too happy to let you nose around. Did you hear that, Bruno? You need Ginny to sign some representation papers. It looks like presenting the detective here with the correct paperwork is the only way. Okay, I had a feeling. Yeah, now I can't examine anything. Fine. But first, what do you think of this? Inspector Gregson, could you give me your opinion about this, do you think? We don't tend to share, Sunshine. Not with the general public. In that case, Gregsy, how about some herbal tea? Glug, 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 glug. Ah, that's the stuff. Ah, lovely. Ta very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. You don't mind sharing that then? Oh me, oh my. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. What? Out with it, Sunshine? Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. Watch the source, Sunshine. Sonny, I'm a copper, and we don't go in for favoritism. But he's right, you do treat us differently. Oh, you're absolutely right, Iris. It's because of those adventures of Herlock Sholmes stories, that's why. Oh, I crop in him, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson. Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's. What did you write about the inspector, Iris? I don't remember, really. It was one of Sholmes' lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it. Oh, did I write that? And you know what the one line did for me, eh? The very next month, my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell you. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, that's amazing. All because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all the Herlock Sholmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me. Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time they became such a toady to me. Can you blame me? All it'll take is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson? No, the great detective will say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if that came out in print, eh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost worrying about it. But that would never happen, Gregsy. Every month when the new Ron's magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages. He's a little paranoid. Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves. She has it in like a little thermos. Gluck, 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 gluck. Ah, you do treat me well, Iris. Ah, lovely. Ta very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. I'm gonna say that line every time the exact same way. Teetotal. Okay, let's talk about the investigation. So, how's the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. There's some very definitive evidence. We're just about to charge the diver we arrested last night, in fact. Sheena? You're gonna charge her? Uh-oh. That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow. That's very soon. Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me. Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid. Do it. I can see through your clothes, Gregsy. Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you? What the? And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you? How could you? How could you possibly know that? I had a feeling, that's all. Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. So have you arrested the two men who saw Mr. Sholmes, have you? Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat. And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison? She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course. We see her run by the shop. I'm free! Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I'm definitely wrong then. There's no way that they have the two guys, and that it's not, and that it's McGilded is one of them. But maybe we'll find out that these two people that they picked up aren't actually the guys who were at the shop. Or maybe they were coincidentally ransacking the place before the incident happened or something. I don't know. Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition? Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential. Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinner's. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know. Technically, I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital policy. No visiting at all. Oh, then why'd they let us in? The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He'd lost a fair bit of blood. Even though I didn't see any in the cutscene. Oh no. He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so. But a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down. Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know. Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. They gotta stop that bleeding. But he will be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better. Oh, of course, your ladyship. He'll be right as rain before you know it. Really? How do you know? How do I know? Well, because. Of course. I'm just guessing. Oh yes, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective, that's why. Tee-hee. You better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again. Oh dear. Please don't die, Hurley. I was gonna say, he must have... So it must have been a lot more serious than it seemed. Because he honestly seemed fine when... During, like, the cutscene at the end of the last part, but... Clearly not. I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theater. Oh, yeah. There's something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? What is it? I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now. Is that to Susato? An important message? I wonder what it could be. Yeah, we haven't seen Susato yet. Tell us. Are you gonna tell me what this important message is then, Inspector? Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side. Your assistant, Maya. Dear Susie, is she alright? She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe? Nope, not anymore. She had to head off. Okay, she probably went to the courthouse. Head off? Where? To Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her. Ah, yes, of course. I'd forgotten about that. I didn't. One of the whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage, and we'd finished questioning her. After we'd finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey, and to go and meet her there. Oh. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a bloomin' messaging service. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector. Why does Susie have to go see the Lord Chief Justice? She didn't tell me. She didn't know. But I better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Okay, we done here? I guess I still can't investigate until we get that... Oh, I didn't actually try and investigate the bobbies. The police are scouring every inch of this place by the look of it. Instructions from the yard are to examine every article in the shop, and every ledger and book of accounts. Every article, but that's a ridiculous amount of work, is surely. We've been hard at it ever since the shop was declared a crime scene in the early hours. We're sifting through all shifts at least, but still. We'll be working through the night, that's for sure. Even when we'll barely have scratched the surface. A crime in a pawnbroker's. Must be every policeman's worst nightmare. It's every copper's worst nightmare, you know? A crime in a pawnbroker's. Oh, you read my mind. Okay, now I think we're good. Except I didn't talk to you. This officer's been staring intently at the wall since before we came in here. Looks like he's staring at the calendar, maybe? Keep it down. Oh, sorry. There's a major clue just there. Really? We must tell Gregsy at once. But as soon as I report it, that'll be it. I'll be stuck here even longer. Stuck here? What do you mean? I haven't been home in 2 days already. I need another constable to relieve me and take over my shift. They really have a tough time, the British police. My life sucks. That doesn't stop us investigating though, does it? No, I suppose not. I'm fairly sure it was the calendar he was peering at. But I tried looking at it. So I doubt we can actually, yeah, we can't actually tell him about it. Okay. Oh yeah, right, the Lord Chief Justice's office. We have been everywhere already, so let's go there. To the Lord Chief Justice's place. Office. 16th of April, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal. How so? I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you? Maybe he thinks the same about you. So, everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust? Yes. Thank you very much. There they are. There they are, Susato-san and Lord Strongheart. I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious. Very good. There's nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. Wait, what? Say what? No. That's not happening. Wait, what did he just say? You return to your homeland? Susato-san! Don't! Egads! Oh gosh, I don't like the sound of that. Right on cue. The birds flying in the background. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. What was all that about? Explain. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's this all about? Why are you talking about Miss Susato's return to her homeland? And tomorrow? Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial? You mean she's been formally charged now? Oh dear. I really want to know what's going on. Okay. Let's see if we can examine things. Oh, I've always dreamt of sitting at a huge desk like that and looking important. Why don't you try it then? Discreetly, of course, because now's a good time to do it. Alright, I will. Tell me how I look. Well, Runo, what do you think? Oh, it would have been so funny if they actually, like, put her up there. A little too discreet. I can't even see you. Okay. Those giant suits of armor are still facing each other menacingly across the room. I just can't understand why everyone will wear things like that in battle. They must be so heavy. I expect you to invent some special lightweight suit if it was down to you, wouldn't you, Iris? I think if it was me, I'd invent a world where people didn't need to fight each other in the first place. Good idea. Iris, you're a champion. Well, what do you think? That was a mortal answer, wasn't it? She's 10, Ryunosuke. 10. And she's leading you around by the nose. I love clocks and their mechanism, don't you? The way all the hundreds of pieces fit together and work as one to move the hands in a single timepiece. Yes, I can imagine clocks are just your cup of tea. When I was little, I used to dream of one day living inside a clock, you know? Then you must be envious of the Lord Chief Justice having his office in a place like this, I suppose. No, not really. Oh? Well, I mean, that's a dream for when you're little. It'd be silly now. What did you say? Don't let Lord Strongheart hear you talking like that. Let us fight outside, girl. Oh my goodness, just look at all these books. Yes, there are books about the judicial systems of all different Western nations. Even for someone like me, it would take at least 10 days to read all these. Just 10 days? Oh, I was only joking, Runo. I thought it'd be fun to play up my genius. It's scarily believable with you. That's the trouble. Anything else? I think that might be it. So, about this. Wait, I must have more time to examine it thoroughly. Really, there's no need. If it's not relevant at the moment, you can just say so. Susato-san takes everything so seriously. Let us get talking. Miss Susato, what's all this about? Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue just as it has. That's not what I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving? Oh, I really want to know. And I wonder if it really was a surprise. Like, she said she had no idea why she was coming here. I wonder if she really did know that it involved her going back, and she was just lying to us. It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no! Professor Mikotoba? That's right, we met him very briefly at like the very start of the game. I kind of forgot about him. Yeah, this guy. If I may? Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe? Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. That's right. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news. 10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker day by day. I don't believe it. As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Miss Susato's departure as much as possible. Yes, absolutely. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning. I can't believe this is happening. Is it really? So is she really leaving for the trial? Is Iris gonna be my new sidekick? I mean, I love Iris, but I'm definitely gonna miss Susato if she does leave. So Gina has been charged? She'll have to appear in court? Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow. No, not even 24 hours later? Gina? Ah, the Lestrade girl and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. An all too conspicuous case. The pocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is without wasting time on these open and shut cases. It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that. Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart? In defense of your fine services to date, I shall overlook the young girl's insolence. This time. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave, now! Don't be a douche. Of course, Lord Strongheart. Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford to take to the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday? That's right, he was involved in another case. Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday. It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. Okay. You've made your point. 3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me. There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart. Which is? It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her? Ha ha ha! Good one. A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation. But, that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial. Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case, but she declined it. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? A question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. Yes, thank you. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. What a day. Gina charged with murder, Susato-san about to leave. Yeah, things aren't going very well. Come, Mr. Naruhodo, Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie, you're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can. Thank you, Miss Susato. That's a very pensive look. She's doing her duty. I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go. If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can. As a lawyer! Okay. I might go to Gina, talk with her. Hopefully she'll agree to have us defend her, maybe? And then that might be where I end it. We'll see. Depends how long this section is. To the prison. '60th of April, local prison, cell 13. Hey, Gina. Long time no see. Ah! Hello again, Gina. Oh, okay. I see they still didn't take that away from you. What are you lying for now? To have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again, obviously. Huh. I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition into that thing, don't I? Look. You can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you. You gotta convince her, Susato. Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. What? I'm sorry to say, but I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Eh? Farewell? Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home, to Japan. I fear we may never meet again. I hope not. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, It will be a glum parting, indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie? Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you. Ooh, that was right in the jugular. What? It's my fault? Yes. So I have one final request, Gina. Before our paths never cross again. Right here and now. I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Eh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. Oh, she's laying on the guilt trip. What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, eh? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it. By admitting one of your own untruths. Oh boy. That's right, she did say that she, had some secrets she was hiding. What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? Ooh, the plot thickens. The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted? Ah. Hopefully she's not admitting that she burned the carriage or something. Could you imagine? The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus? You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. And you're not supposed to lie in court, Gina. Will you tell us about it now? Oh boy, we're not stopping. We're not stopping. The trial 2 months ago. Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand. And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent. Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. I knew it. What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. Okay, man, we're really going back to this trial. It was pitch black in that little cubby hole. I couldn't see a thing, and then... thud. Nah, that actually scared me. I heard that loud thud, like something falling on the floor. And that's when Mr. McGilded discovered you? Oh man, it's been so long since I did this case, I have to remember these details. Yeah. Okay, so that's them sitting there. He pulled me out under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There weren't much light to see, but when I looked at my hands, I had the curved blood all over him. I was so scared, I couldn't even speak. You had his blood on your hands? In other words... It was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight. Oh, okay. Then Mr. McGilded started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were, and why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, he did. Only, that's not all. What do you mean? I mean, he threatened me. Threatened you how? He made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard. And about what he was going to do after the code was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scupper before the coppers showed up. Oh, otherwise he was gonna pin it on you. On her. Ooh. A little bit of blackmail. Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Okay, she's gonna do it? I feel so bad for her. No wonder she doesn't trust, adults. Okay, guess we'll just go down the list. You said McGilded made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw? But you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you? Yes, with Mr. McGilded sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but it was when I heard the thud of the cove in the floor. I let out a little scream, see? Couldn't help it. McGilded heard that and dragged me out by my arm, and that's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer where I'd been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny. Ah, one of the music discs. A disc? Do you mean... Yeah, that's it. The one what the D took off me at the window banks. So the music box disc was there on the floor of the omnibus? Not for long. McGilded spotted it straight away. He picked it up smartest and stuffed it in his inside pocket. So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. The question is, was it... I guess it wasn't McGilded from the start then. Either it was and he dropped it and he just picked it back up, or he took possession of it and that's when he put his name on it. And the bog trotter told me I wouldn't mutter a word of it to no one. Okay. And what did you hear? Because it was so dark under the seat in the cab, I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door open, or I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin. Presumably that was McGilded getting on board. Nah, not only him. Oh? Because I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people. In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilded and the victim. Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In his testimonies in the trial, Mr. McGilded claimed he slept during the carriage ride. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb to it. That's right, he did say that. And your own testimony, Gina, supported his. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Were you lying there? Probably. Yeah, that wasn't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear him talking the whole time, in low voices. What? What were they talking about? Do you remember? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud. Okay, that's fair. But that still tells us something. Mr. McGilded and the victim knew each other. Yeah, I guess. So McGilded was lying, as I suspected. Oh man, the plot thickens after the event. I knew it wasn't going to take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cab came to a stop, McGilded took me to hide back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The 2 codes from up top ran off to get the coppers. Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right, and after they gone, McGilded asked the driver to do him a favor. A favor? Oh, what happened here? Now then, fella, what I need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it with the nearby pawnbroker. Oh, snap. And for your troubles, let's see now. I'll give you 10 guineas. Dang, so he's the one who deposited it. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street? Yep, you got it. It was Winterbanks. The coachee snapped up the money and ran off to pop his coat as fast as he could. So Gina overheard this, so that's how she knew the coat was there. So then there was no one left in the carriage, but McGilded opened the box under the seat. And let me get out of there, but not without conditions. I see. Okay, we're gonna keep going. What was the conditions? What were McGilded's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean. Not telling a soul. Not for anything. About what I saw and what I heard. And there was something else as well. There's more? Oh, I thought she was saying that she's not telling us. Yeah, this is the most important thing, he said. Okay. Oh, dang, we got a little picture. I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me, with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? At all? You asked him to go pop your weasel, right? That sounded very dirty. Aye. The fiend's taking the overcoat to deposit with a pawnbroker hereabouts. And I want you last. So take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand? What? Want me to have the ticket? That's right. And I'll come fetch it from you later. Something within the next 2 months. You have to hang on to it till then. Is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright then. And in case I might happen to be delayed at all, you have to go to the pawn shop, Window Bank so it is, and you're to extend the loan afore the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited. Any old fiend could come along and buy it. But I ain't got that kind of brass. Here's £5. That should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now. Or anything funny now, if you go against me. Yeah, I get it. Good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt. The coppers? Aye, they'll come asking you to take the stand in court. To testify as a witness. So let us have a wee chat about that, shall we? What is it that you might say? And what is it that you won't? Oh, so he laid it out all right then and there. They came out with their little fabrication. Okay, that's them talking about it, I guess. Looks like he's holding his cane up like a microphone. Okay, very interesting. After he'd gone all over it all, I piked it. Got as far away from there as I could. He had the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark. So McGill planned it. And coerced Gina into giving false testimony. Oh boy. That was a lot. I was not expecting any of that when I decided to talk to her. I bet you were ready to string me up, eh? I lied in that big old courtroom. I told some corkers. Yeah, corkers. Sure. The thing is, he said he would make it so we couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man. He knew everything what went in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us. And we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean, Mr. McGilded would have... In an heartbeat, you could have had the lot of us chased out if you'd wanted. Man, what a jackass. And then where could he have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. So, I didn't have no choice. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. But, I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid. Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor. A favor? What? Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. Eh? If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us. Investigate what? The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see. You what? Heard he's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright, right? I'm assuming yes. That's why I want to investigate. For Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything. He was nice to you after all. Right. So what you're saying is, if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy, is that it? Something like that? Miss Susato? Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. Come on. You like us. I don't need no one to stick up for me though. No lawyer or nothing. But you're gonna do it? Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely. There we go. The paperwork signed by Gina to put me in charge of her defense. Showing this to Scotland Yard detectives gains us access to the crime scene. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Winterbanks now. Yes. And perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done there. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at least. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gresham can't stop us investigating at Winterbanks. Is that it? Although, something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Awesome! Okay, I was going to end there anyway. As soon as we were done talking, I was going to end it. So that was perfectly timed. A little over an hour and a half, so we got a decent length video today. So a lot happened. We went to visit Sholmes at the hospital, but he was not there. He was operating, so it might be a while before we see him. Even now, it looks like we're going to have to investigate before we see him. We got to talk to Gina. She was reluctant, but as you just saw, we were able to convince her. You know, we tried to investigate, but we couldn't without the paper. So it was a lot of going around. Oh yeah, we found out the unfortunate truth. I'm kind of hoping something happens and she doesn't have to go, but it's understandable, right? Like, at the same time, if her dad is ill, I can't blame her for leaving. But, yeah, that's unfortunate. But, yeah, I mean, the case must go on, and maybe I'll just have to have Iris as my new sidekick. But at least Susato is doing everything she can for us before she leaves. But yeah, that sucks. Again, I don't know. I still don't really trust Strongheart. And then of course we just had this lovely scene where we found out what she was hiding, and she told us that she lied about everything, or most of the stuff she talked about in her testimony. But it was planned from the start by Mr. McGilded, and he was threatening her. So I can't really blame her. After dealing with him, it's no wonder she hates adults so much. She probably sees them as like manipulative and and just awful because of him. And I'm sure not just him. I'm sure she's had some bad instances, run-ins with adults and stuff throughout her whole life. So we're getting a sense of why people use her her misfortune, her poorness, whatever the word I'm looking for, her economic status, against her. And that's really sad that she's being used like that. But she seems to trust us, even if she's not going to admit it. And she signed the papers. I'm sure we will be defending her. But it looks like in the next episode, we'll get to start investigating, finally. Get some clues, because we really don't have many. We have that one picture of the dog. And that's it. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. This case is really, really good. It's tying a bunch of different cases and stuff together. Namely, the third case, of the last one. Maybe that's why it was just a trial. Maybe that's why they went with they went with just a trial, because like it was a small case, but like I said, it's coming back in a bigger way, which I like. I like when these games do that. So we'll leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share the video, do all the things that I appreciate. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. So take care, and bye-bye.